when I see my children at odds.
It's just Amy has always been top priority. At the end of the day, honestly, top priority. Like, you got 2 other children. They're trying to do their own thing as well. You don't put you put us. We're always on the back end. If you had a bit.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. We're talking to you guys about Love and Hip Hop series 11. Listen, I don't know how I found myself here. I watched a clip and I was like, let me go watch the episode. I ain't watched Love and Hip Hop for a long time. Then I came across this little situation that was happening with Amy Luciana and her sisters, Angie and Raynell as well. And I thought it was actually a really fascinating conversation that they're having, because this happens in families quite a bit, right? So we have 3 daughters, and I think one of them is married, but 3 daughters and the mother, right? And the mother was a businesswoman beforehand as well. I think she was involved heavily in that. And so she gave money both to all 3 daughters, equal amounts, to Raynell, to Amy, and to Angie. But now we've got this, we're now situated into this conversation between Angie, Amy, and Raynell, and there's real more tension between Amy and Angie and the mother, because Angie feels that Amy has been the favorite and has got more of the attention than the other kids have in the family. And I think this is really powerful, because we can break this all the way down. I know how these things, I feel like I know these things, how they start and how they usually end as well, because if things are not going to be course corrected, this only gets worse, right? Because people's feelings of resentment and frustration grow unless there is outside help and there's people getting therapists and counselors and stuff like that who can then give a better insight. So we're going to break it all the way down for you guys. Well, kind of give you a little bit more understanding of what actually happened in that scene. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification. The uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. Let's get into this video. You just watched this part. I'll watch it again. Let's go.
When I see my children at odds.
It's just Amy has always been top priority. At the end of the day, honestly, top priority. Like, you got 2 other children. They're trying to do their own thing as well. You don't put you put us. We're always on the.
Now, that's Angie there. Angie says, hey, you know what? Amy has always been top priority. Now, you know how I feel about the words always and ever and never. Those are very definitive words that shouldn't really be existing in your vocabulary, because no one ever, never does. It's not like your mom has never put you as a first priority. What you're really saying is, though, I feel like it has been in recent months, years. It could have been, majority of my lifetime that I've seen that you've put Amy first above ourselves and myself. And that makes me feel like that's what should have been expressed. But instead, what we've been expressing is Amy has always been top priority. And that's how usually people argue when they're frustrated and hurt, right? They're not thinking about what words they want to put across, right? They instantly want to make it the most exaggerated aspect because they want to be heard, they want to be seen. So Amy's always been top priority. And you've got other kids that you don't pay attention to. And it's immediate accusation. And that really does put the other person on the back foot and a back burner immediately. If we're trying to get more understanding, you're not going to get that. You're going to get a fight. Right? Unless the person's really good at just being able to go, do you know what? Let me hear what you're saying. Let me not take offense to how you're coming at me. Right? So, but that also gives us an idea in terms of Angie's position. She's frustrated. She's hurt. Right? None of those words have been mentioned, but she's frustrated. She's hurt by the fact that she feels like she's not getting equal amount of attention from the mother, who's given quite a bit of attention to Amy, who is actually more of the middle child, and Angie's one of the oldest ones in the family.
On the back end. If you had a business that was moving and moving, you would be priority. Did I not just open up my tattoo shop like a couple weeks prior to that? You showed up to my shop for less than 20 minutes and was gone when Amy called you. We worked just as hard as Amy has.
Now, I want to be very, very clear. She starts off by saying, hey, look, you know what? We're not as priority as Amy is. And then Amy chimes in and says, like, what are you complaining for? Almost in a sense, right? That's all that's going to be heard, no matter what Amy says. Because if it's a contradiction to what she's saying, it's going to be like, well, basically, I've earned what I'm getting. Why are you complaining? I'm not doing anything different. But she's actually not listening to the plies of her sister. What her sister's asking for is time. What she's looking for is input. What she's looking for is presence. And Angie has every right to feel that way. But the way that Amy responded told me you're not realizing your own privilege, that you may have a little bit more time with mother and they feel some type of way. You're not wrong for having a time with mom. What I'm saying is that you may not even realize that your position is one of privilege in according to the sisters. Yes, you run 3 businesses. Yes, you know, you're a successful YouTuber and rapper and musician, and now you got your own business, but your sister's also running a business too. She's opened up, I think it's a second salon she's got two now, one or two, I can't remember. And so now for her too, whether it's one, whether it's zero, whether it's, she's not even a business person, she may want time with her mother too, because she's also a child of the mother, right? So that's also important. Let me just play a little bit.
On the back end, if you had a business that was moving and moving, you would be priority. Did I not just open up my tattoo shop like a couple weeks prior to that?
And what Amy just said there also is kind of disrespectful. If you had a business that was moving and moving, it's and what's happening is that the mother's interacting with her children on a business level. Now, that's probably what she's taught them from very young, to hustle, be hard, and look after yourselves. Maybe she, you know, has some very bad relationships in the past, and maybe she had to be very independent. But that's what's coming through right now. The girls are fighting. No, at least Amy's putting across again. Not that, oh, look, do you know what? I understand that you want some more time with mum. Her thing was, no, maybe if you had a business that was moving, you'd understand. It's now a business relationship. And we actually saw that earlier in the episode, because I think she was doing her beauty products and one of the guys came over, whatever, right? But the reality of the situation is she's interacting with on a business level. And I think what Angie's really crying about, it's not necessarily business. And this is why we need to get very clear about what you're feeling. And you're not crying about your business. You're not crying about necessarily her coming to your business for 20 minutes. What you're crying about is being validated, being seen, and having worth and being heard. And what you said was when she came to your shop, she was there for 20 minutes when you opened your salon. But she was gone immediately as Amy called. What it says is, I'm not a priority. I'm not valued. I'm not wanted. I'm not desired as much as Amy. Oh, because Amy has 3 businesses and she's successful, that's why she's getting all your attention. I'm trying to do my own thing. I'm trying to be successful, and you're not even supporting me. It's going to look like we're playing favorites. That's very difficult for a parent because you've got very accomplished children. It's gonna look like favorites. Right now, of course, you can't split your time completely equally, but it means that there's probably need a bit more time. Angie needs a bit more time with you. Angie's probably afraid to really say that, hey, I actually want to spend more time with you, mom. I want to hear those words that you're proud of me too, because it feels like you're proud of Amy, but you're not really proud of me, and that's why you're spending that much time with Amy and not spending time with me. And Amy takes upon herself to say, well, if you were running 3 businesses, she's further exasperating the issue rather than just shh. Let this play out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, Amy, you're successful, you're winning, you're killing it. And yes, mother's going to be included, but I want you to pay attention to how it's actually affecting your sisters as well at the same time. That doesn't mean that that Amy's wrong per se. No, it's meant to say the little ad-libs that you had in there ain't helping the situation. All right, it ain't going to help that grow. Let's listen to this as well.
An effort that you're giving for her. Work a little harder, Angie. What are you talking about? Work a little harder. Work a little harder. Listen, I'm not even being funny. I have 3 businesses going to your one. In the beginning of my career, my sister's career, my mother said it.
See what she made it about? She didn't realize. She said, oh, work a little bit harder. Baby, this is not about working harder. This is not about her not having her working harder to, because what you're really saying is work harder to gain the attention of our mother. The attention your mother gives is not because you work harder. The attention your mother gives because she loves you. It's become business. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, if we were to go deeper, I'm sure we might find out how this relationship formed in terms of the children, but it's become about business, and rather than it being about the emotions and the care and the presence and input a parent has on a child in general. So her working harder now, what is going to make the mother pay more attention? Why is the mother paying attention anyway? It's her child. Do you get what I'm saying to you? If she ran 5 businesses now, does that mean that she gets to have more mother? I think we've got to separate mother who's a consultant and who can aid in business to mother who can help and be a mother. You know what I'm saying? But to be fair, we don't know the deduction. She may just mean that she wants her mother to be more of a consultant. I'm kind of extrapolating. I'm kind of projecting onto the situation as well. So I have to be very fair with that. But this is how I try and coach it a little bit and try and understand it, right?
This is going to your one. In the beginning of my career, my sister's career, my mother sat us down and she gave us all the same equal lump sum of money. I think
this is really important because the mother is a businesswoman orientated mindset. I think she spends more time with Amy because Amy is someone who's closer to her than the rest of the daughters. Listen, parents will tell you all the time they don't have favorites. They have favorites. They're lying to you. It's like saying God don't have no favorites. God don't have favorites, but he has favorites. And what I mean by that is the grace that he extends and the grace that your parent extends are different to different children. When they see that a child is similar to them, has the same temperament, right? If they have good qualities, not bad ones, but good qualities, they tend to give that child a bit more grace because they see themselves in that child. I think the mother sees herself in Amy. I think the mother sees her business tenacity, skill, and ability in her daughter. She's running 3 businesses. She's a YouTuber. She's a rapper. She's successful. Whenever she touches something, it's successful. It's probably just like what the mother feels like. This is my golden egg, my golden goose, and she does everything like I used to do, and it works. And I want to be around that. I love that. I love seeing her flourish, and I love seeing her win. And her other daughters are not as accomplished and as astute in business as Amy. And that may be the reason why the mother spends a bit more time with Amy too. But the children can feel it though. The kids can feel it, right? Now, what's important?
Vacations, and my mom is looking like, hey, you guys kind of blew through the money. Amy's brand is rolling, so she's Team Amy.
You can't understand.
It could also be that as well, right? Which is that, you know what, at the same time, because the daughters took the money and did what and spent money, it looked like they were being frivolous with it. And the mother has spent time with Amy, who's like, no, I'm going to be really good with my money. Now that's fair. Because if that's the case too, that's understandable as to why the mother has spent a bit more time with her daughter Amy and not with Angie and Raynell. Because what she might have seen is, you guys are being frivolous. I've given you money and I expected you to invest it and make money. This is Bible. This is Matthew 25, the parable of the talents, where we've given you money and you haven't done what is according to it. You haven't brought a return and an interest. But when it comes to Amy, she has done. Now, I'm not saying that Raynell and Angie haven't done some of their money. They have, clearly, because they've been successful. But the reality of the situation is they haven't done what Amy's done. And the mother's going to see that and be like, well, if you guys were just spending money at the beginning of just going and having fun, you saw how Amy was hitting the ground running. I can get behind that. I understand her hitting the ground running and going with it and trying to make something of herself. I can't understand how I can raise you up, give you everything, and then give you money at the end, and you still don't make the best out of it. And she will identify with certain things that Amy does rather than the daughters. This doesn't mean that this is right or wrong. It's more of a case of what's happening and why she made certain choices, I believe. But it also affects the other 2 daughters as well, right? Now, what's interesting is this. Watch this.
I don't want to be an operational manager for a pretty kitty any longer.
Wait, what? What are you trying to say?
I have to do what I need to do for myself.
So you think that this is the right time, right now, to do this?
When you know the pretty kitty launch is coming up.
Now, here's the most important thing, right? Neither the mother or Amy tried to understand where Raynell was coming from. Now, Raynell seems to be the more quieter one, the one who tries to make things work. She looks like she tends to be the glue. She doesn't want trouble. She's risk averse or fight averse. You want to call it conflict averse, sorry. Doesn't want to get into conflict. As soon as she did that, the mother and Amy were on her neck. Do you know why? Because they're used to having Raynell succumb to their particular plans, right? They're used to Raynell doing what they need her to do. Now, of course, it works in a business front and in a partnership. It works in aspects. But the moment she says she wants to do something different, their immediate response wasn't about trying to understand where she's coming from. It was more, but you know about her brand. You know about her business coming up. How selfish can you be? Look at the timing you're choosing. You're definitely trying to hurt your sister instead of actually trying to understand where she's coming from. Why is Raynell feeling this way? Why is Raynell deciding that it's time she wants to do her own thing? What's going on with you? What have we missed? What are we not seeing? What are we not paying attention to? The immediate effect was about what Amy is. And that's what they're talking about when it comes to that selfishness of you being so concerned about Amy and not about the other 2. Look how quickly it shifted and changed. Now, of course, absolutely right. Pretty Kitty's about to launch and maybe it's not the best time to do this. But that should have been brought into the conversation a little bit later. But that was an immediate response. You know how Pretty Kitty is going to be. Why would you want to do that straight away? The immediate response wasn't even trying about finding out why does she feel the way she does. Right?
It's coming up.
For me, yes.
That is very spiteful and that is very ugly.
I don't think what she's doing is ugly at all. I think that she's standing up for herself for a change.
Now, what's interesting is the fact that the mother was like, that's very selfish. That's very spiteful for you to do that. How dare you do that? Basically, how dare you do this to Angie and to Amy? You know, you're being selfish. Baby, have you not tried to find out what your daughter, why she doesn't want to be there? Have you not tried to delve in deeper? right? That she wants to quit this at this point in time. Now, of course, obviously, Angie standing up for her sister Raynell has duplicious implications. I mean, the reason why she was happy to hear Raynell say no, partly because, you know what you gonna do without us? But partly also because Raynell has spoken to her behind the scenes as well and let her know she wanted to quit. And it's like, it's a validation for the fact that I'm not feeling this alone and I'm not the only one that's suffering. So you know what I'm talking about as well, Raynell. That's what Angie's position is. So the reason why Angie was on defending Raynell and saying that's what she wants to do is because she knows that first and foremost, Raynell's very quiet and will go along with whatever somebody says. And that includes Angie. That's how Raynell becomes a pawn in the game, because including Angie's also using Raynell in some aspect because she knows that Raynell will fold easily. So she's also like, hey, don't fold easily. You said you wanted to quit. Don't fold easy. Part of it is that she really wants her sister to back it and keep it strong and quit. But part of her has also got selfish intentions that she's saying, hey, but you going back on it, you're helping them again. You're not doing what we were supposed to do. You're leaving me out in the cold. You're letting me think that I'm crazy for saying what I'm saying about Amy, and you're gonna just fold in already, right?
Girl, you definitely want to do your own thing. You want to do your own thing. Just
Why
say
does it
that.
seem like you're trying to persuade
You want to do your own thing because we've had a whole conversation.
And she
yesterday.
said she'll think
And
about it.
now it's
I
just
said I'm gonna
like,
think about it because
Angie needed to calm down. Is when she said, "Oh, let me think about it." She just said, "Okay, no, that's fair. You know, you did say you want to think about it, and you said that you want what you want to do. I'll back you whatever you choose." But instead, because she had an agenda, she had to force it through. It's like, no, babe, stop. Your sister couldn't go through with it. Stop. Just say, listen, I'll back you whatever you choose to do. I know you said you wanted to go through with it, and I'll be willing here to stand with you if you go through with it. If you decide to stay, I'll back you too. That would have been you being in her best interest, but you weren't. You were in your own interest. And Angie's now fighting Amy because really and truly, she's older than Amy. You may have felt like, you know what, the mother was so focused on Amy when you're the first one of the older borns. Why didn't you get the attention that Amy's getting? That may have been the case. That's fair enough. It may be what's playing up right now, but that's your sis right now, and she ain't gonna just quit. Like, she wants to make sure that she doesn't quit just haphazardly. But I also understand that you're seeing that your sister may be folding too easy as well. Okay, all right. Hence why then Angie then ends up getting up and leaving the table. Well, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell down below. We'll know your thoughts down below. What you guys think?